recruits is a 20-kilo ferrous slug. Feel the weight! Every 5 seconds, the main gun of an Empress-class dreadnought accelerates 1...
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Thanks for diverting to the Gurns back, Shepard. I appreciate being able to clean up that mess. And don't worry, it will not affect how I do my job. It's over.
Any thoughts on how to prepare against the Collectors?
We've got the best armor available. The rest is outside my expertise, Commander.
We'll talk later.
Commander.
Commander's put together an impressive team. I've never worked with so many
Commander, those provisions you provided were perfect. I owe you. I've already thrown together some of my calamari gumbo. Here, try a bite.
I think I'll pass.
It's your loss. Anyway, thanks again. You really came through.
Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got any upgrade ideas for the Normandy's weapon systems?
A few, yeah. Here, take a look. Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Sure, just killing time anyway. I wanted to thank you again for your help with Sedona's. Whatever happens with the Collectors or the Reapers or whoever else comes after us, I know you'll get the job done.
You actually think we'll find something worse than Collectors or Reapers?
I like to expect the worst. There's a small chance I'll be pleasantly surprised.
I couldn't do this without you, Garrus.
Sure you could. Not as stylishly, of course. It's strange going into a suicide mission on a human ship. Your people don't prepare for high-risk operations the way Turians do.
I thought you'd be used to high-risk operations on human ships. I mean, think about tracking Saren to Ilos.
Sure, but that was quick. We raced out, landed, blew up some Geth, and saved the galaxy. This time we've got Miranda and Cerberus and that AI all telling us what we're up against. I think I preferred blind optimism.
Thanks for the talk, Garrus. I'll see you later.
Sure thing.
Thinking about past missions. Got a minute? You might learn something. Tough fight on Horizon. I fought slavers and kidnapping rings, but nothing like that. Some slavers took a little girl on a colony in the Skepsis system. Girl woke up, fought her way out, got picked up by my band well on her way to Omega. 8 years old. She'd have had no chance on Horizon. Hey, don't touch. That rifle's older than you are. I call her Jessie. That's my lucky charm. More men have been killed with that gun than died in the Skillian Blitz. The day I laid her to rest was the saddest day of my life. I'd give up every weapon I own for one more mission with that shitty old rifle. Oh yeah, that's a model of the Veracon. Turian frigate. Hell of a ship. I led a mission to bring that thing down from the inside with just 5 men and whatever guns we could bring. No chance of success, but we did it. Everyone died. So I made out like a bandit.
Tali Vasnima Naraya, requesting permission to dock with the Raya.
Our system has your ship flagged as Cerberus. Verify.
After time adrift among open stars, along tides of light and through shoals of dust, I will return to where I began.
Permission granted. Welcome home, Tali.
We'd like a security and quarantine team to meet us. Our ship is not clean.
Understood. Approach exterior docking cradle 17.
Captain Shepard, Tali told me a lot about you. I wish we could be meeting under more pleasant circumstances.
Tali helped the Normandy's crew out of many difficult situations. I'm here to return the favor.
I understand. As the commander of the vessel she serves on, your voice carries weight. I wish I could do more to help Tali. The trial requires that I be officially neutral, but I'm here if you need to talk. They're charging you with bringing active Geth into the fleet as part of a secret project.
That's insane. I never brought active Geth aboard. I only sent parts and pieces.
You sent Geth materials back to the migrant fleet?
Yes, my father was working on a project. He needed the materials. If I sent back something that was only damaged, not permanently inactive, no, I checked everything. I was careful.
Technically, I'm under orders to place Tali under arrest pending the hearing. So, Tali, you're confined to this ship until this trial is over.
Thank you, Captain.
Preparations got underway as soon as you arrived. The hearing's being held in the Garden Plaza. Good luck. You should speak with Admiral Ron. She's waiting for you up ahead.
I can't believe they're charging Tali Zora with such...
If Tali Zora can't even get the Quarian captain to stand for her, she's as good as convinced.
Tali Zora of us, Normandy. I am glad you came. I could delay them only so long.
Auntie Ron, Shepherd Vas Normandy, this is Admiral Shalaron Vas Tonbe. She's a friend of my father's. Wait, Ron, you called me Vas Normandy.
I'm afraid I did, Tali. The Admiralty Board moved to have you tried under that name, given your departure from the Nima.
I take it being associated with the human ship is a bad sign.
They stripped me of my ship name. That's as good as declaring me exiled already.
It's not over yet, Tali. You have friends who still know you as Tali Zora Vas Nima. Whatever we must call you legally.
You're an admiral. Does that mean you're one of the judges?
I'm afraid not. My history with Tali and her father forced me to recuse myself.
I imagine father had to do the same.
You'll see inside, Tali. For my part, I moderate and ensure that the rules of protocol are followed, but I have no vote in the judgment.
I guess we should get started. Does Tali have a defense counselor? Someone who speaks for her side?
Indeed, she does, Captain Shepard. She is part of your crew now, recognized by Quarian law. And remember, an accused is always represented by his or her ship's captain.
So, you would actually speak for my defense?
I'll do everything in my power to help you, Tali.
Thank you, Shepard. I could not ask for a better counselor.
Our legal rules are simple. There are no legal tricks or political loopholes for you to worry about. Present the truth as best you can. It will have to be enough. Now come. I promise that I would not delay you. This conclave is brought to order. Blessed are the ancestors who kept us alive, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this season. Keep us alive. The accused Tali Zora Vas Normandy has come with her captain to defend herself against a charge of treason.
Objection! A human has no business at a hearing involving such sensitive military matters.
Then you should not have declared Tali crew of the Normandy, Admiral Chorus. By right as Tali's captain, Shepard must stay.
Objection withdrawn.
Shepard Vas Normandy, your crew member Tali Zora stands accused of treason. Will you speak for her?
If it helps Tali, I will. But in her heart, she remains Tali Zora Vas Nima, a proud member of the migrant fleet. I regret that her captain is forbidden to stand at her side today.
Nobody has been forbidden from anything. It is a simple...
Lie to them if you must, Zalcoris, but don't lie to me and expect me to stay silent. The human is right.
Admirals, please. Shepard's willingness to represent Tali Zora in this hearing is appreciated. Tali, you're accused of bringing active guests to the migrant fleet. What say you?
How could Tali have brought guests to the fleet while serving on the Normandy?
To clarify, Shepard, Tali isn't accused of bringing back entire units, only parts that could spontaneously reactivate.
But I would never send active guests to the fleet. Everything I sent was disabled and harmless.
Then explain how Geth seized the lab ship where your father was working.
are you talking about? What happened?
As far as we can tell, Tali, the Geth have killed everyone on the Alarai. Your father included.
What? Oh, Keela.
As you can see, Tali is as surprised as I am by news of a Geth attack.
Shepard, we have to take back the Alarai.
The safest course would be to simply destroy the ship. But if you are looking for an honorable death instead of exile...
I'm looking for my father, you Boshtet!
You intend to retake the Alarai from the Geth? This proposal is extremely dangerous.
With your permission, Admirals, yes. The good of the fleet must come first. And Tali needs to find her father.
Agreed. And if you die on this worthy mission, Tali, we will see that your name is cleared of these charges.
We can discuss that later.
Then it is decided. You will attempt to retake the Alarai. You are hereby given leave to depart the Raya. A shuttle will be waiting at the secondary docking hangar. Be safe, Tali. This hearing will resume upon your return, or upon determination that you have been killed in action.
Thank you for agreeing to take back the Alarai, Shepard. The Admiral sounds sure that my father is already dead, but... I don't know. We won't know anything until we get there.
Is there anyone here you want to talk to before we go?
We can talk with the Admirals. It might help us to see what their viewpoints are. But I doubt we'll change anyone's mind by talking to them privately.
Let's go.
Right. The sooner we get to the Alarai, the sooner we'll know what happened.
Shepard, the secondary docking hangar is through the conclave chamber where you are now. The shuttle they have provided is unarmed.
Understood.
Whatever Geth are on the Alarai have likely built more of themselves. Expect heavy resistance.
You set me up, Shala. You told Captain Donna not to say anything? I don't hear that my father may be dead until I'm in the trial? Why?
The Admirals needed to hear the shock in your voice, Tali. Otherwise, they might not have let you try to retake the Alarai. That is your best chance at recovering evidence that can exonerate you. I am sorry. We cannot afford sensitivity, Tali.
I know you're trying to help her, Admiral, but that was over the line.
She has nobody else to speak for her, Shepard. I am doing everything in my power. That's what her father would have wanted.
Don't say it like that. He could still be alive on that ship.
You should get to the Alarai soon. Is there anything else I can tell you?
What kind of evidence will carry weight with the Admirals?
Tali, you admitted to sending Geth parts to your father for his project.
Yes, but never anything that could have come back online on its own. I took every possible precaution.
Then find records of your shipment and experiments. Something that proves you were careful. Something that proves that this is all just a terrible accident that nobody could have foreseen.
What can you tell us about the Alarai?
Not much, I'm afraid. Real Zora only said that he was researching new defense technology.
He told me only that he needed any Geth parts or pieces I found. I assumed he was testing weapons on Geth components.
We knew nothing until the Alarai sent a distress signal, then went dead. We didn't even know about the Geth until a boarding team was attacked.
You're saying there's no data about the inside of the ship?
That's exactly what I am saying. The Marines who survived and escaped saw bodies in the halls. We must assume the worst.
No, we don't.
How long have you known Tali's family?
Since before Real was an admiral. 25 or 30 years, I'd guess. I was there when Tali was born. Her mother and I had synced up our suits so we could be in the same open-air room. I was sick for a week, but it was worth it. I was the one who took Tali from her mother and put her in the bubble. She cried so hard.
I don't understand. You put your children in bubbles?
Environmental units. It's a step between relying on the mother's immune system through nursing and getting a suit of one's own.
The bubbles let parents take their children out of the clean rooms safely. We don't wear suits until adolescence.
There's a celebration when a child gets her first suit. It's a coming of age.
I'm not hearing much about Rael's involvement in Tali's life.
It's difficult to explain. I shouldn't.
It's all right, Anshala. No secrets between shipmates. I think I told Shepard about my father.
If you say so. Rael was committed to the Quarian cause. That didn't leave him a lot of time for his family. He wanted to give Tali and her mother the home world, or a strong fleet at least. That was how he showed his love.
We should move on.
Good luck on the Alarai.
Tali Zora is the pride of our fleet. They can't exile her.
Tali, I'm glad Admiral Rahn got you leave to hit the Alarai. Hopefully you'll find something that clears your name.
I'm more concerned with finding my father, Admiral.
I wish you luck. Blow up some Geth on the way. And your Captain Shepard, Admiral Hangarel Vasnima. So, you stole the Nima's best crew member. I suppose I'll allow it, given what you did to those Geth at the Citadel.
I take it you and Tali are acquainted.
All the old guard knows Tali. Rael brought her to Admiralty board meetings when she was a little girl.
It was one of the few times I got to see him.
Hey now. Your father didn't always show it, but he cared. He cares about you. You two are always too much alike to get along. And you're both smart enough not to make mistakes like the ones they're saying you made.
You and Tali's father go back a long ways?
We served together on the gunship Yaska during a bad Batarian raid. We were kids, serving pre-pilgrimage as trainees. Crew of 10, and 6 were dead. Kinetic barriers were down. Rael and I were alone on the bridge, and the Batarians had drawn off a tramp freighter.
Did you save the freighter?
Our ship was under orders to hold position, but Rael looked at me and said, "We're underage. They can't charge us for breaking formation." He took the helm, I took weapons, and we brought that freighter back. The crew called us heroes. The brass called us idiots. They slapped medals on our suits, then kicked us off to pilgrimage a bit earlier than usual. That's Rael for you.
Can you tell me anything about the Alarai?
Nothing good. We sent some of our best Marines into that hellhole. Damn few made it back. Whatever Rael was doing, it blew up in his face. The ship is crawling with Geth. Don't go in expecting survivors.
Admiral, my father, your friend, is on that ship.
I know that, Tali. But if Shala hadn't suggested you might volunteer, we'd already have destroyed the Alarai. That's where we stand.
Can you tell me about the other admirals? Anything that might help me change their minds about Tali?
The one you didn't recognize, Tali, is Admiral Zen. She's on the fence. She takes fleet safety very seriously. On the other hand, she's always been in favor of studying the Geth. I hope she sees the benefits of Rael's research. Admiral Corris is the same whining suit-wetter he always was.
You disagree with Admiral Corris's policies, I'm guessing. Or is it personal?
The man is a damn Geth apologist. Thinks we were wrong to try to destroy them centuries ago. He wants us to search for new colony possibilities instead of taking back the homeworld. Any research on the Geth makes him angry. You don't have much of a chance with him, I'm afraid.
It sounds like we're dealing with more politics than just Tali bringing back equipment.
You noticed that, did you? Tali's father wasn't just running weapons tests on the Geth for fun. He was looking for something to give us an edge when we attacked the Geth in full-scale war.
I know Father wanted to retake the homeworld someday, but are we that close?
I don't know, kid. We almost had the votes. We just need to give people hope for victory.
I hope the Quarian people find some place to live, Admiral. but it sounds like you're playing with fire.
We're too comfortable now, Shepard. We've got the largest fleet in the galaxy and we just ride around doing nothing.
We might need that fleet to help fight the Reapers, Admiral.
Then we need a world to shelter our non-combatants while we do it.
Thanks for the information.
Hang in there, kid.
Thank you, Admiral.
Judging by your ability to play to a crowd, human, I have done Tali a favor by stripping Vas Nima from her name.
Commander Shepard, this is Admiral Zalkorus Vas Quib. Do not ask about the name.
I take no pleasure in this, Tali, truly. You have gravely endangered and dishonored our fleet.
You have a ship named Quib?
Oh, here we go.
Our people have, during difficult periods, purchased pre-owned vessels from other cultures. And have, on occasion, had difficulty altering the ship's registry information. The citizens of these foreign-named ships have borne the stigma of these names with grace and honor.
If it bothers you, maybe you should find another ship.
I've occasionally entertained the idea of requesting a transfer. Something with a nice, respectable name, like the Defrons or the Ictomy. But I am proud of the Quib, and I will not flee because of petty insults.
Can you tell me anything about the Alarai?
Only that you should have let us destroy it. When we find the evidence of what Tali and her father did there, any hope of convincing the other admirals will die.
I did not bring active Geth to the Alarai, Admiral. I know how dangerous that would be. I only brought pieces.
The captured ship with its crew slaughtered by living beings in pain belies your argument.
What exactly is your problem with my crew member, Admiral?
I respect Tali immensely. Her actions against Saren are to be lauded. But, like her father, she wants nothing but the destruction of the Geth. The people we created. The people we wronged.
The Geth drove us from our homeworld.
Of course they did. We tried to kill them.
You and the other admirals appear to have some disagreements beyond Tali's trial.
You are correct. Tali, I apologize for it being brought into your proceedings. The other admirals are pushing for war. Rael Zora was researching new weapons to use against the Geth. They would see our fleet destroyed in the skies over our homeworld, rather than find a new colony and adapt.
Can the Quarians coexist with the Geth after all your history?
I don't know. We all deserve to find out. They are our children, Shepard. We have all done horrible things to each other, but it has to end. For both groups. That is why I cannot sanction whatever experiments you helped enable, Tali Zora. I believe this message needs to be sent.
I understand, Admiral. I do not agree with you, but I understand.
We should move on.
Goodbye, Tali Zora. Be well.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I don't hate you, Tali. I just think your father's plans for war were wrong.
Shepard spoke well to the admirals.
I can't believe they're charging Tali Zora with such a thing.
Tali Zora Vas Nima. Oh, sorry. I mean Vas Normandy.
No offense taken. The change in name was not my choice.
Per Admiral Rand's orders, the shuttle is prepared for you and Captain Shepard Vas Normandy.
Can you tell us anything about what we'll find on the Alarai?
I'm afraid I don't know much. Not many Marines made it back from the initial assault. They talked about massive waves of Geth, though. More than there should have been.
There shouldn't have been any at all.
Right. I mean that they're afraid the Geth are building or repairing more of themselves from materials on the Alarai.
Let's head to the Alarai.
Of course. I'll unlock the shuttle now. Good luck with those Geth, Tali Zora. Kila Selai.
Be right there.
Understood. Moving.
This is one of the storage units I sent to Father. Looks like parts from a disabled repair drone, plus a reflex algorithm that I didn't recognize. I got this on Haystrom.
Haystrom was a war zone. How did you salvage gear in the middle of all that?
These suits have more pockets than you'd think. Quarians have learned how to salvage whatever we can, whenever we can. Within reason. We're not Vorcha, but we repair what most people would throw away. Hundreds of the ships in our fleet were salvaged wrecks, either found dead in space or purchased for next to nothing.
Does that salvaged gear give you a clue as to what happened here?
No, I don't know. Shepard, I checked everything I sent here. I passed up great finds because they might be too dangerous, prone to uncontrolled reactivation or self-repair. I don't know which possibility is worse. That I got sloppy and sent something dangerous, or that Father actually did all this.
Who's running the system diagnostic? I didn't authorize. Oh, Keela. How many get their networked?
All of them. Rail Zora.
Shut it down! Shut everything down! They're in the system!
Now what's this?
I'm going!
Can do. We've got trouble.
Can't reach the target.
Fissure punch through their armor. My pleasure.
Got the target. This console might have something. Most of the data is corrupted, but a few bits are left. They were performing experiments on Geth systems, looking for new ways to overcome Geth resistance to reprogramming.
Do you think testing weapons on the Geth was right?
It's not testing weapons on prisoners, Shepard. I only sent Father parts. Even if he assembled them, they wouldn't be sapient. You saw what Saren and Sovereign did with the Geth. Any research that gives us an advantage is important.
Did you know what kind of tests your father was running?
No, Father just told me to send back any Geth technology I could find that wasn't a direct danger to the fleet. I suspected he might be testing weapons, but I thought he was just working on new ways to bypass shields or armor.
Could any of that data clear your name?
Doubtful. This is mostly results data, effects of different disruptive hacking techniques. I don't understand all of it. But they may have been activating the Geth deliberately. I don't know. Nothing here says specifically, but if they were, then Father was doing something terrible. What was all this, Father? You promised you'd build me a house on the homeworld. Was this going to bring us back home?
You'll reclaim your homeworld someday, Tali. If your father can't help you, I will.
Taking back our planet would only be the beginning. We'd have to cannibalize our fleet to rebuild cities and infrastructure. It would take generations of gene therapy to readapt our immune system so we could live without suits again. We'd be adapting our entire culture. Again. Sometimes I wonder if it's actually worth it.
Have the Quarians considered colonizing a new world?
We'd have enough difficulty reacclimating to our own native environment. Adjusting for exposure to a foreign colony would be even harder. It's the difference between 60 years and 600. For anyone alive now to watch a sunset without a mask, we must take back our home. At the very least, we can take back one ship. Come on. On my way. Right. One down.
shot.
Move. Big.
One down. Father! No. You always had a plan. Masked life signs or an onboard medical stasis program, maybe. You wouldn't. They're wrong. You wouldn't just die like this. You wouldn't leave me.
Hey, come here.
Damn it. I'm sorry.
You've got nothing to be sorry about.
Maybe he would have known I'd come. Maybe he left a message.
Tali, if you are listening, then I am dead. The Geth have gone active. I don't have much time. The main hub will be on the bridge. You'll need to destroy it to stop their VI processes from forming new neural links. Make sure Hangerl and Daro Zen see the data. They must.
Thanks, Dad.
You don't know how he would have ended that message.
Yes. I do. Come on. Let's finish this.
I'm on it.
Bunkering down.
Look out! Hostile engaged.
Watch out! That's not my drone! Got one. Hey, that's walkr1972. This console is linked to the main hub Father mentioned. Disabling it shut down any Geth we missed. It looks like some of the recordings remained intact. They'll tell us how this happened, what Father did.
You sound like you don't really want to hear it.
No. We have to. I know. This is terrible, Shepard. I don't want to know that he was part of this.
Do we have enough parts to bring more online?
Yes, the new shipment from your daughter will let us add 2 more Geth to the network.
We're nearing a breakthrough on systemic viral attacks. Perhaps we should inform the Admiralty Board, just to be safe.
No. We're too close. I promised to build my daughter a house on the home world. I'm not going to sit and wait while the politicians argue.
We'd have an easier time of it if Tali Zora could send back more working material.
Absolutely not. I don't want Tali exposed to any political blowback. Leave Tali out of this. Assemble new Geth with what we have. Bypass security protocols if need be.
Sounds like this is the evidence we were looking for.
Everything here is his fault. I tried to pretend it didn't point to him, but this... When this comes up in the trial, they'll... We can't tell them. Not the admirals, not anyone.
We're not going to decide anything here. Let's see what the admirals say once we get back.
You're my captain in this hearing, Shepard. It's your decision. But please, don't destroy what my father was. Come on. If we wait too long, they'll decide we're already dead, and none of this will matter.
We need to face facts. There has been no word. There is no reason to think Tali Zora survived.
Sounds like the hearing is already underway.
It's only been a few hours.
Less than 5 minutes. Call it. A pity Shepard passed Normandy.
Very well. Is the Admiralty Board prepared to render judgment?
Sorry we're late.
You didn't waste much time declaring us dead. Go get your ship.
We apologize, Shepard. Your success in taking back the Alarai is... very unexpected.
But also very welcome.
Did you find anything on the Alarai that could clarify what happened there?
Shepard, please.
Does Captain Shepard have any new evidence to submit to this hearing?
Tali helped me defeat Saren and the Geth at the Citadel. That should be all the evidence you need.
I fail to see what relevance...
You're not really interested in Tali, are you? This trial isn't about her. It's about the Geth.
This hearing has nothing to do with the Geth.
You want people to sympathize with them. And Garrow wants to go to war. None of you care about Tali. She knows more about the Geth than any other Quarian alive. You should be listening to her, not putting her on trial. Tali Zora saved the Citadel. She saved the Alarai. She showed the galaxy the value of the Quarian people. I can't think of stronger evidence than that.
Are the Admirals prepared to render the judgment? Tali Zora, in light of your history of service, we do not find sufficient evidence to convict. You are cleared of all charges. Commander Shepard, please accept these gifts in appreciation for you taking the time to represent one of our people.
If you appreciate me, then listen. The Reapers are coming. I'm going to need your help to stop them. Please, don't throw away your lives against the Geth.
Thank you, Commander Shepard. I hope this board carefully considers your advice.
This hearing is concluded. Go in peace, Tali Zora Vas Normandy. Kila Salai.
I can't believe you pulled that off. What you said. I've never had anyone speak like that on my behalf. Thank you for being there for my father and me. Even when... Thank you.
Tali, about what your father said, what he did. You deserve better.
I got better, Shepard. I got you.
We can still go back in and get you exiled if you want.
Thanks. But I'm fine with things like this. It's fun watching you shout.
Come on, Tali Zora Vas Normandy. Let's get back to our ship.
Thank you, Captain.
We can use this.